Hey everybody, welcome back to Progressive D&D, and today is a pretty exciting day. The non-disclosure agreement has just been lifted off the Sigil, the Wizards of the Coast 3D virtual tabletop. Uh, Daniel and I have had access for it for a few months now, and to be quite honest, haven't spent a lot of time in it because they've been constantly doing updates to it, and it's been in the alpha stage. So I'm excited now to dive into it. I'm going to create something that a lot of us are very familiar with, the Delian Tomb by Matt Colville. This is an adventure that Matt Colville put together. I'll put a link in a video that he did on it. He created it as a great entry-level adventure for first-time people playing Dungeons & Dragons. So I thought it'd be a great first-time adventure for me to create in Sigil. So let's just dive right into it and see what we can do. All right, this is going to be pretty casual because I want it to be what it's going to be like to actually create a very basic adventure map within Sigil. And just a quick note, I am a very novice person when it comes to creating things like this. So I think I'm going to be a pretty good example of what it's like for a new person jumping into Sigil for the first time. So we'll see what happens. I'll try to talk my way through it as I'm going. If there's some really slow parts, I'll fast forward through them. We'll speed it up. But I kind of would like people to get a true representation of what it's like. All right, we need to jump into creative mode. I've already set up my base layer. I have a few different options. You can make it just the grid, glade, which is what I'm going to use. I mean, this is for an indoor setting. So I'm going to go ahead. Whoops, didn't want to do that. See, first thing. To delete things, just have to hold Alt and hit delete. I'm going to go ahead and use a glade. One thing I do know if you hold down the right mouse button, you can move around. Now, I have not been able to figure out how I can actually rotate this screen while in edit mode. So we'll just have to play by ear on that. But one thing I've noticed is right over here, you can do different floors. You can move the floor up and down. When I was playing with it a little bit, what I noticed is the easiest way to start is to start on the lowest level. Because this is a tomb, I'm going to be creating it with 3 levels. It's actually going to, so it's going to have 3 different areas that you can step down at. So I thought what would be easiest first is to lay out the floor. I'm going to use this floor. Let's see. So it looks like this floor is going to take up a 10 by 10 space. Which is fine when I'm looking at my map, my example here, which I'll put a quick, I'll show you what, this is what I'm using right here as my layout. I'm gonna have it's going to be a 50-foot piece. The final chamber is going to be 8. I'm going to make it 50 by 50. 1, 2, Oh. All right, I already learned something. You can lay them down individually, or if you hold down the mouse and drag it, it kind of does a paint. All right. So now we're going to come down 30 feet to the next chamber. All right, so the next chamber is going to be so just so I can test it, the next chamber is actually is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it's just 4 by 50. So that's actually not much to test. What I was going to do is if I wanted to add it at another 5 feet, yeah, see, I can just drag the piece down a little bit. Oh, too much. So we can delete that. But there would be an example if I wanted to do it by 45 feet by 50 feet. Might come in important at some point. I'm going to go ahead and delete those, the extra pieces I put in. Very easy to do. All right. Now we're going to have another walkway here. Very easy. Going to go down another 30 feet. Now here's where we're actually going to, and I'm going to try to keep it a little bit consistent with this map that I've got here, which is using a different texture. So how about if we do that? I'm going to put this texture here. I'm going to try changing up that a little bit. This is going to be the first point at which we go up, and there's some stairs over here, which I'm going to use. Pretty easy. You just hit R to rotate. Now, something to keep in mind. This is where the part not being able to rotate this map is a little annoying. But I'm going to go ahead and use this. Actually, for my whole next level, I think. So I'm going to have this move in. Okay, so here's a good example. This is only 15 feet. So I'm going to make it 15 feet like that. There we go. Yeah, so what you can do, just like I showed you earlier, you can just overlap. You can also, if you want to mix things up, as you see, it's bouncing around 5 feet at a time, or 1 square at a time. For probably just out of habit, I'm going to be calling each square 5-foot square. But if you hold down Control, it's free movement. So that allows you to really fine tune it if you wanted to. If you wanted to make it 1 foot, you could kind of eyeball it. But that's kind of nice. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. Again, if I hold down, even when I'm holding something, I'm finding here, if I hold down my right mouse button, I can drag it around. All right, so here we're going to go into the next room, which is going to be another, let's see. Okay, so it's going to be a 40 by... This one's going to be a 40 by 40.
And it's going to start here. So let's make it a little bit harder. Let's see here. Yeah, that would be 40, or well, that would be the first part. I think I need to do another one over here. I think that's 40 by 40, right? Pretty close. Now we're gonna have another. So we're actually gonna have steps up again here. So I'm gonna go out to here. And then I'm gonna go out to here. As I mentioned, so that's another cool thing that I noticed is if you like, I've got this block and I want to go up to the next level, you just drag it over, and once you get over, see it's gonna jump it up there for you. It's not. So I'm actually gonna have, let's see, I'm gonna have stairs go up there, which is one spot. Then I'm gonna have it go up even, well, let's see. I think I will. I think I'm gonna have it even go up one more level. Or not. I think what I'll do is do one here, one here, one here. Because I'm gonna have the actual top be really high. So we're gonna have steps leading down there, steps leading down there. Like that. Just click the right hand button, and I'll show you. If I just hit the right hand, if I just click the right hand mouse button, that'll drop whatever I was working on. All right, so there is the layout of the tomb. Very straightforward. Thought this would be the main reason I'm using this. So the next piece, so I think actually, maybe not the walls first, but how about an entryway? So we're going to rotate this. Zoom in a little bit better so we can see what I'm doing here. Just slide it over here a little bit. All right, so we're going to put an entryway there. The interesting thing is over here, it's a secret door. I may have to do a little bit of research, see how that's done. But let's see here. Very basic, I didn't mention it before, but down here at the bottom, you have the available tiles. You have different terrain you can use, different props, which we'll use later on. And even set pieces, which are obviously, it looks like much bigger items. For now, let's go back to this. I think I want to try to... Now this is going to be where it's going to be some trial and error. I don't know if it's better for me to have created this first, put the walls up first, or if I should have waited. We will find out here. Like I said, this is where I think you can do some cool texture effects. You know, instead of just doing it right next to it, kind of recess it in a little bit. And the other thing we can do is kind of, see there's that weird hole there. I just noticed. So maybe just drop this piece down in there. Fill that in. Probably getting a little ahead of myself by doing some of this stuff. It's probably going to get deleted. That's what I'm guessing. What I mean, I just figured it out, guys. I figured it out. Yes. If you hold down the scroll wheel, that allows you to rotate the whole map. Yes. I just totally lucked into that. That just made my life so much easier. Press the scroll wheel, move your mouse, you can rotate it. Oh, I'm so happy I just found that. Here is, as far as I can, the basic layout so far of the Delian Tomb. Sure hope I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry, Matt, if I'm not. Alright, so this is the basic layout. Now what I want to see if I can do is let's add some things to it. So one of the big things on the Delian Tomb is there is a brazier right in the middle of the room. What would be the middle of this room? There maybe? Let's see, there's two versions of this. Definitely want it lit. There's also statues. Does this have any statues of any kind? Hey guys, this is Dan from the future. Just wanted to jump in here. I'm going to fast forward through a lot of this. But I needed to build some statues, so I used the miniature maker within Sigil. Didn't want to spend a lot of time on this because it's kind of a video into itself. But you have a lot of flexibility for creating your character mini for using within Sigil. But as you can see, I spent a lot of time doing this. At the end of the day, not for a lot of gain. So let's see, do they have a rug of any kind? If not, we'll make something work. Alright, I don't see any rugs. So, how about if I go back to this? Might be easier if I delete these first. Rotate this. Okay, what I'm not doing is using the ability to fill us all in. Okay, wish I could change the color of that. Guess that is what it is. My little plans here, which this is just something someone custom made to fit this. They have a little arch here. That's arch is way too big. I guess we'll just go with this. Right. Alright guys, maybe this is a really good place to stop this first video. I think this gave a great idea of how easy Sigil seems like it's going to be able to use. I'm going to pick up on my next video after I do a little bit of research. I want to see, can I do secret doors? Is there an easy way to add the terrain so that this subterranean piece, maybe I can fill it in somehow. I'm going to do a little bit of research on that and see how we can finish out this map so that it is ready to be used if I want to run this as an adventure. All right? If you guys liked this video, if you guys are excited about Sigil, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to us, hit subscribe. Do all those things. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.
Yo, progressive D&D, we the finest. Dungeons deep, dragons big, ain't no blindness. Roll the dice, take a chance, feel the kindness. Heroes rise, villains fall, break the silence. Every week, new quest, new alliance. From the battles to the quest to defiance. Be a rogue or a mage, show your science. Follow us, don't be late, pure reliance.